Lemonada.
Summer. It's when we share more time, more memories, and more photos. And at AT&T, the iPhone 17 Pro is your summer essential. Its center stage front camera auto-adjusts the frame to fit everyone into group selfies. You don't even have to turn your phone.
And AT&T makes sharing those pics with everyone easy. Right now at AT&T, ask how you can get iPhone 17 Pro on them with eligible iPhone trade-in, any condition. Requires trade-in of iPhone 15 Plus or higher, excludes iPhone 16e and 17e. Requires eligible plan. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. Visit att.com/iPhone or visit an AT&T store for details.
Guys, we got to talk about your secret late-night internet searches. You know the ones: bumpy leg rash, hair loss, itchy bum. Trying to figure out your body by endlessly searching for answers. We all do it, and it never works. Thankfully, there's Amazon Health AI.
It can connect your symptoms with your medical history to offer personalized care 24/7. So call off the search. Amazon Health AI is here. Healthcare just got less painful. Hello, we're here for More Happier, a podcast where we get happier. It is the weekend. We are kicking back. It's observations and reflections with a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Gretch.
Today we'll check in with how we're doing with our Move 26 challenge, and I cannot wait to describe my friend's brilliant April Fool's Day prank of her husband. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, I've been wanting to tell you about this prank.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, but first, something making us happier. Elizabeth, what is something making you happier?
Okay, well, Gretch, Sarah and I over on Happier in Hollywood are doing what we're calling Whimsy May, which is just Whimsy May, but we like alliteration, so we're calling it Whimsy May, where we're trying to put more whimsy into our lives for the entire month of May. And it's making me happier, one, because I'm putting whimsy into my own life, but also our listeners have been letting us know what they do that's whimsical, which is just super fun to hear about.
Well, I don't know if you realize how on trend you are. I get that thing about Google Trends, and whimsy has appeared again and again. Whimsy is having a moment. People are really embracing the whimsy.
Yes. So Sarah and I are doing things like getting our fingernails painted, wearing whimsical nightwear. I'm using my weekend china mugs that I use during the week.
Ooh, edgy.
I just found in my closet some of my old Smurfs, a couple of old Smurfs that I'd saved. Do you remember Smurfs, those little blue men?
Yes, those little figurines.
Yes.
They used to be everywhere. They pervaded every corner.
So I found a couple and I put them up in my bathroom so that I could see them during May. So anytime I just see like some chance for whimsy, I take it. I think so far the favorite bit of whimsy I've heard from a listener is someone who sews pom-poms onto her family's robes and I think slippers.
Oh, that's cute. Was it on your 26 for 26 list to get your nails painted a color? Do I remember that?
Yes. So I had on my list of 26 for 26, get my fingernails painted twice. So this was a dual thing. It both worked for Whimsy May, and I have accomplished the first of my nail painting.
So what color did you pick?
Well, it's kind of a gray light blue. So it's not all that whimsical. Listeners were wanting me to do neon or, decorations.
Multicolors.
But I decided that it was just whimsical enough that I got them painted. So they're not too crazy. But I did look up spring nail trends. And this color was one of the trends for spring. So I chose it for that reason, because I like to be on trend. So there was thought behind it.
You do have amazing nails, Elizabeth. This is like one of your things that you have always had really strong fast growing fingernails.
Yes, I do have great nails.
I could see you getting into this now that you've started down that road.
Yes, definitely possible. That's probably one reason why I resist it. Because,
Yes.
in high school, I always painted my
Oh
nails
my gosh,
all
yes.
the time.
But wait, so do you feel like, though, I can imagine that one of the reasons this would sort of make life feel more fun and more elevated is that you're on the lookout for it. And so then you
Yes.
find these little opportunities for delight when you might have otherwise just passed by without noticing or without thinking like, well, I'm not going to buy those paper clips in the shape of corgis, but they're very whimsical that, I can enjoy them even if I'm not going to actually purchase them or whatever.
Yes. I mean, Smurfs being a perfect example. I opened
Right.
my underwear drawer. I don't know why. I had 2 Smurfs in there. And I thought, well, why are they just sitting here? Let me put them up and enjoy my Smurfs during May. I'm not going to keep them up forever.
Send me a picture because I remember there's like the Smurf that's holding a present and the Smurf that's like
Yes.
mixing in a bowl and the Smurf that's holding a football and a Smurf that's reading a book. And there's just like all their little activities.
Yes. So I'll send you a photo. One area I'm learning, which makes a lot of sense where people embrace whimsy, is in their powder room. If they have a powder room, a lot of people find that to be a good place for whimsy. Someone let us know that their powder room they have decorated with outhouse decorations.
Well, don't I remember that you had that whimsical wallpaper you were thinking about doing for your powder room?
That was actually for our bathroom in our room, I think. I guess it could be in the powder room. Yes, it's like monkeys being naughty, basically.
Yeah, like smoking cigarettes and stuff.
Yes, which we still have and we haven't put up yet. Getting that up wherever we're going to put it would be a good cap on Whimsy May. I should mention that to Adam.
Yeah. And that would be spend out too, which is the idea.
Yes.
Like we have this really fun wallpaper.
Yes.
Let's use it.
Yes.
Is mimsy a word? I think it's
I don't think it is.
Well, it's in that Lewis Carroll, all mimsy were the borogroves and the mome wraths out grapes. So I think it's from the Jabberwocky poem.
Oh, that may be what we had in mind.
Wait, or do I remember that? Wait. Maybe I have that wrong, actually. I'd have to like sit down. I had this memorized. We had to memorize it in 6th grade. And I bet if I had to, I could sit down and reconstruct it. But that might take a few minutes. So that's something I'll do the next time I'm like sitting in a dentist chair or something is try to
Good idea.
Yeah, I think it is. All mimsy were the borogroves. I think that's right. But it's a fun word no matter what. Do you think that pajamas or sleepwear is a good place for whimsy? That's a really good idea.
Yes. So like I ordered myself some mahjong pajamas, which I'd been wanting, but they're just not something I would buy. Pajamas just aren't something I'd ever buy for myself.
Yeah.
But for Whimsy May, I did buy them and I have been wearing them. The other kind of interesting thing about this, Gretchen, is May is my favorite month.
That's your birthday month.
It's my birthday. I love the weather in May. It's the end of school. It's also my anniversary. Memorial Day, Gretchen, is, of course, again, the start of summer.
Yeah.
And I do think having a favorite month is in and of itself whimsical. So I think we should all pick a favorite month. Now, Jack's favorite month, like many people's probably, is December because it's his birthday and Christmas. But I mean, other people might love April. They might love July. I think Sarah's favorite month is probably July. So that's an idea too.
That's an idea. I like September. To me, it's sort of like the other January and it's the clean slate. A lot of times there's a lot of really fun things because people haven't been around in the summer, but it can kind of hit you over the head too. It can be a bit of a roller coaster. And if you're in school, you're going back to school, or maybe you've already gone back to school. Oh, I'm going to think about it. That's a good question. What's your favorite month?
See, interesting, Gretch. I would say September is one of my least favorite months.
Interesting.
Because it is back to school, which is summer is over. Then once October hits, I'm in the groove.
Yeah, I like August. August feels like high summer.
Yeah, well, think about it.
But it's also back to school. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to think about that.
I feel like May is Friday and August is Sunday.
Yes. Ooh.
I guess June, I miss June, but you get my point.
June is kind of Saturday.
May is Friday afternoon. June is Friday night. July is Saturday and August is Sunday. How about that?
Okay. I like that.
Okay. What's making you happier?
Okay. So, I'm working on my book about the empty nest and I love working on a book. It's my favorite thing to do. And I am at the stage, which is probably my favorite stage, one of my favorite stages, where I have my structure, because structure is always so hard. I often will rip up a book a couple times and completely restructure it, which is very arduous and hard because you have to sort of like rethink everything, very taxing. But then at a certain point, you sort of feel like the structure is right. And I feel like my structure is right. And then I'm at this delightful place where everything that comes in has a place to go. So I'll be talking to people, I'll be reading a novel, I'll be reading a study, and I'll be like, I'll know exactly where in my project it goes. And this is very satisfying because until I have that done, I know that my structure is not complete. Or if it feels like, well, it could go here, or it could go here, or it could go here, that probably means that my structure is not focused enough because there's too many things that feel like, well, this discussion is a lot like that discussion, and that discussion is a lot like this other discussion. So like, what's going on? Because, you know, sometimes when you write, you sort of accidentally make the same point more than once. This can happen to me. So I don't have that crispness that I really want, where it's like, I'm talking about this thing right now in the right place. And I encountered this with the 4 tendencies. So I had my big insight that the word was expectations, and I started working through it. And as I began building out the structure, I began realizing that all these things that had never had a place to go suddenly fit. The way that so many people talked about arbitrariness. I'm like, oh, arbitrariness is an aspect of questioners. Or like the whole thing about oblige or rebellion, which took me so long to understand. But then I'm like, oh, this is an aspect of obligerness. And this is why it makes sense. And it makes sense because obligers overlap with rebels. And it fit in perfectly. Everything on all the puzzle pieces fit. Like it wasn't jamming anything together. It all fit perfectly. And one of the things that's nice about it is I'm at this point where a lot of things I see, I'm like, oh, this is really great. I'll add this to my draft. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to add it because I've already made that point, or I already have a really good illustration for that point. This one is no better. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll swap it out. This one is even better than the one I had before. I'm just like, no. And so it's a very satisfying time because now I'm like, oh, now I'm polishing, perfecting, really making sure that everything is right. I like to edit more than actually write. Some people love to write and they don't like to go back and edit. And I love to edit. I will edit. It's always a big deal. I'm always like to my editor, what is the day when I can no longer freely edit? Because there is a point where if you find a mistake, they'll let you fix it, but you can't just edit something because you think of something that you want to add or you think of a better way to say it. They're like, no, we're only doing things where you found an actual typo or you found something that's actually an error. And so I always am like, when is the last point that I can freely edit? Because every time I go through, I end up editing a ton. And I'll edit everything. I'll edit an email. Listen, you and I talk about this. We can spend so much time just editing emails because it's like if you have this impulse to edit, it's like you just want everything to be as good as it can be. And I sometimes have to say, this isn't worth my time and my energy to like figure out there's a dangling preposition. It's like, okay, this is an email. That is fine. You can split it in infinitive here. Now you can split it in infinitive everywhere. The grammarians are telling us, but I still don't like to do it. So anyway, it's just making me happy because this is my favorite part and I am in my favorite part.
So did you say you have a full draft?
I have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yes, I do.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's super fun.
That is big. I feel like a lot of stuff is going to come out of this book. I'm very excited about it.
I am too.
Plus, it's perfect timing for me.
Yes.
Because I'll be needing this book in a couple of years.
I know. Yeah, it's coming up for you.
Okay, Gretch, coming up, there's been something you've been meaning to ask me, but first, this break.
Okay, Elizabeth, I've been meaning to ask you, how is your Move 26 coming along? We're well into the year now, astonishingly far into the year. How is your Move project going?
I think it's going great.
Oh, yay.
It is definitely getting me to be consistent with my Orange Theory going. You know, that's part of my goal for the year is to do Orange Theory 100 times. And the whole Move 26 of it helps me with that goal. Mm-hmm. It has gotten me back on my treadmill desk, which, you know, I was off the treadmill desk for like years.
I know, that was strange.
So Move 26 has me back on the treadmill desk. I guess for anyone who doesn't know, Gretchen, I assume most people listening know this. Our goal is to move 26 minutes a day every day of 2026. Also, I'm walking the dogs more because I think to myself, well, if I walk the dogs,
Yeah.
it takes me 30 minutes to do my route with the dogs. So I'm like, then I'll get my 26 plus 4.
Oh, yeah. Good. Let me ask you this, okay, about Orange Theory. There was a period where I think you got sick and it was hard to get back into it. Do you feel like you're now back in the rhythm of going regularly?
Yes, I feel that I'm back in the rhythm of going regularly, which is great. I do, again, want to try to up to 3 times a week. But Gretchen, it is so hard for me. Like I put so much into it that I will be sore for a good 3 days afterward.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to do it like that much more.
Yeah.
But this is interesting. So Orange Theory has all sorts of different challenges throughout the year. And mostly I just ignore them because fitness challenges are definitely not my thing, aside from wanting to do 100 times in a year. But they're doing a June, July strength challenge where you just try to build your strength over June and July and measure it. And I am contemplating doing it. And I think it's because Move 26 kind of has me more revved up physically. So that's a good thing.
Well, as somebody who studies habits, I'm really interested in, you were in a rhythm with Orange Theory, then you fell out because it got interrupted by you being sick. It was hard to get back into it. So do you think it was just by going that then you kind of fell back in the rhythm of it? What do you think helped you? Because I think one thing that's really frustrating for people is they feel like they're in a good groove and then something happens to interrupt them and then they lose that groove. And it's, starting over is often harder than starting. Do you think it just, with the doing of it, it came back, or how did that work?
Well, I mean, I think for me, it's a combination of I do have this on my 26 list of wanting to go 100 times, and I have been very vocal about it.
Yeah. So you feel like if a week goes by and you don't go, you're going to have to make that up later.
Yes. Plus, I do pay for it every month, whether or not I go. And I definitely am impacted by that. I don't want to just lose money week after week.
Yeah.
And it's not like it rolls over, so once it's gone, it's gone. So those 2 things helped me a lot. I wouldn't say it's sort of like, oh, yes, there's the fact once you go back, you go, oh, and I feel so good once it's over. I don't think it's that for me so much as the kind of, I guess not surprising, obliger, the external accountability I feel.
Well, it's a good example of like you have a lot of things cementing it into place. I think sometimes people think, well, I'll do one thing. It's like you might need multiple forms of accountability or multiple things to sort of keep you on track. And that's just normal. It sounds much harder than it is. If you're like, oh, you need 4 systems of accountability to help you go. But here, you've committed to it in public. You put it on your 26 list. You've paid for it. All of those are helping you. And it's not like they all take an extra 30 minutes out of your day. They just pile on each other and help you get back to it.
Now, I will say the one thing that would really probably help me go more often and more easily is if I had a friend that I did it with.
Yeah.
If I had a friend who was like, hey, do you want to go to the 5:10 Orange Theory today? And it was maybe not a day I was thinking I'd go.
Yes.
Very likely I would say yes. I'm built that way.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful. So maybe my next goal has to be to get a friend to do Orange Theory with me. But, people are very specific in what they want to do to exercise. Like you can't just convince someone. They have to, for whatever reason, want it from within. And they may want to do Pilates, or they may want to do Orange Theory. They may want to do boxing, whatever it is. It's hard to get them to do what you want them to do.
Okay. Well, could it go the other direction? Could you make a gym friend? Or do you not really talk to people when you're there?
I don't really. A lot of people do that. That is a whole thing. They have their Orange Theory community. I tend to be shy in that setting, I think because I'm not a great exerciser. I'm sort of not looking to be a standout in any way. So I kind of just, am by myself in the metaphoric corner. But I am trying to smile at people and make little comments. So maybe that will come.
That's good.
Yeah.
It would make it more fun. And you're right. it'd probably be easier to make a friend who goes to Orange Theory than to persuade a friend who doesn't go to go. It's just people are very specific. That is true.
And then the other thing, Gretch, you and I were talking about is that because I'm trying to walk the dogs more, Adam and I were wanting to walk the dogs at night. So we got those little flashlight clips for their harnesses. So now they have flashlights and it's much easier to walk them at night. So that's another thing of like the Move 26. It's like, because I want to move 26, want to be able to walk the dogs. And now because of that, we have more opportunity to walk the dogs, which means they're getting walked more, which makes them happier. So it's really a good thing. Really, every year we should try to move.
It is a top priority of life for sure.
What about you? Because I feel like you're always on the move.
But you know, Elizabeth, you do something like Orange Theory where you're really truly doing cardio and you're really pushing yourself. Somebody, I remember a listener was like, oh, well, I think it's very interesting that Elizabeth says she goes on hikes and Gretchen says she goes on walks. And I was like, that's because Elizabeth is walking up a very steep mountain and I am walking through the gently rolling Central Park. You know, I mean, that is just the accurate. So for me, I'm just trying to step it up in my everyday life. So I'm trying to walk faster because I kind of amble along. And, you know, I think I used to walk faster. And then when Eleanor was little, she walked really slowly. And I remember just really having to hold myself back because when she walked so slowly, and I think it permanently reset my pace.
Yeah.
So I'm really pushing myself as I'm going about my business during the day. Just pick up the pace. Just pick up the pace. Because they've shown that just walking faster is good for you.
That's good.
Another thing that I'm trying to do is run down stairs. I'm very focused on balance and also getting your feet up. It's just a little bit more challenging. And also there's something lively about it. There's something childlike about running.
Yes.
I don't run up the stairs as much, but I try to run downstairs. And it feels good to just be like, oh, I'm so full of energy. I'm just going to run down the stairs. It lifts my mood in a surprising way because I think I'm acting more energetic and sort of eager.
Yes.
It gives me that feeling.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's fun. Another thing is, so when I go to the Met every day, I definitely amble through the Met, and that's fine because I'm looking around or I'm sort of daydreaming. I'm in my head. But now for the last 10 minutes, I really try to walk purposefully. And I really enjoy that. I feel like I'm walking all through the Met, and I like that feeling of having sort of walked through every room fairly recently. I don't like it when I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot about that mezzanine level, and I haven't been there in a while. I like to feel like it's all sort of active in my habit. And so doing this means that I can just zip through, and I like that feeling, and I like that coverage of the Met. I don't walk so quickly that it's like annoying to other museum goers because people in museums tend to walk slowly. But I walk as if I've got a direction. I'm not just looking around.
Now that you're so familiar with the Met, that probably feels right in a way that wouldn't have the first year you went. You know, you've earned the right to be able to stride quickly around the Met with all of the time you've spent there.
Yeah. No, and I like it because it's just, I don't know, there's just something about sort of keeping it active. Like what about the new British galleries? Like I haven't been through there in a while, so I just like walk through it and keep an eye on everything. That's interesting. And then the final thing that I'm doing, you remember I said I didn't like the word squats, and so many listeners gave me the much better word of plie. Because basically doing a plie is the same thing as doing a squat, but it just sounds so much nicer.
Yes, it does.
And I decided I would do 13 because 13 is half of 26. And it's also exactly the amount of time that it takes to go down in my elevator from my apartment to the street. But also when I'm waiting for my coffee to brew, or I've got a few minutes before I need to get on a call or something like that, I try to just do it when it occurs to me. And 13 is enough to be hard, but it's not so hard that I'm huffing and puffing or something like that. So I think that's good.
So I wonder if your legs are stronger. They must be.
Well, I hope so. And it's still good exercise. Like it's good for your your muscles to have a little bit of testing.
Yes.
I was thinking maybe I should go up on my tiptoes when I do it. I think that would make it harder. I should experiment with that, just like keep it moving.
Yes.
I love this challenge, Elizabeth. It feels very energizing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. People sometimes think exercise is going to make them tired, but actually, unless you're really pushing yourself, exercise actually gives you energy. That is something that I feel like I always want more of is more energy.
Yes. And I would just say, Gretch, for anyone out there who's listening who hasn't been doing Move 26 in 26, you can start now. It doesn't matter that you haven't done it till now. Start today. Join us.
The best time to start Move 26 in 26 is January 1st. The second best time is now. And if you want resources and more inspiration, just go to happiercast.com/move26. It's a lot of ideas for helping yourself get started and keep going. There are prompts and mini challenges you can follow to help you stay consistent, to help it stay more fun. It's all at happiercast.com/move26. It's super fun.
All right, Gretch, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
Well, it's also springtime. And if you are thinking it's spring cleaning time and I should get organized, but I don't know where to begin, I wrote something about 7 easy and fun ways to start. And each one is quick enough that you can do it right away, but it gives you that sense of satisfaction that makes it easier to keep going. I love clutter clearing and organization as the subject. So I have so much material on that. And it's all at happiercast.com/organization for anybody who wants to get a little bit of inspiration.
Yay.
Organization inspiration.
Nice. Coming up, you have been meaning to tell me about your friend's April Fool's prank, but first, this break. Okay, Gretch, we are back. I am so excited to hear about your friend's April Fool's prank.
Okay, so this is my friend, Sarah, and her husband is like a no-nonsense golf-playing guy, sort of a straight shooter type of guy. So she and her daughter brainstormed the language for this, which I'm going to explain. And so she and her husband were going away for like a weekend, and she got the hotel to actually create it for her on their stationery so that like it was a printout that looked like an actual thing from the hotel. And she showed it to me. It looks completely real. It had the logo. It had all of it looked like everything else. It was completely convincing. Okay, so it says, an invitation for men, the unguarded hour, a confidential gathering, a rare permission to exhale. Join your fellow men for real talk about the issues facing you, work, romance, childhood trauma, the difficulties of being a man in today's complicated world. What you carry deserves a gentle witness. We invite you to share in community. Release, restore, and return to yourself. And then it says, meet in the spa lobby robed, clothing discouraged. And the fact is, there are probably many men who would be like, I would love to go to an unguarded hour, but not her husband. I know her husband. This is like, no way. And I guess she had said to him, I really want you to go. Let's have fun together. Let's go. And so he said, I'll do whatever you want. Famous last words. And so he said, well, I said, I'll do whatever you want, but I really don't want to do that.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to go in my robe and sit with a bunch of guys and talk. I want to like hang out with you. And anyway, I just thought it was like the unguarded hour. Like everything about it was so much the language of that. And he was so completely believing that she was really saying, oh, I really think you should do this. And here it is. It's coming up this afternoon. And she actually filmed him looking at it and being like, oh, I really don't want to do this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is so funny. And something, I mean, many of us, I think, could laugh imagining our mates reading that. And the fact that the hotel was in on it with her is hysterical.
Though I thought like such good spirit on the hotel, because I would have thought that they would be like, look, ma'am, we just can't do that. We can't have something floating around or whatever. Or we don't have the authority. And they were just like, oh, this is fun.
Oh my gosh.
But so what I thought was so smart is like she knew her husband and exactly what he would not want.
Yes.
I could imagine if Jamie did it for me, it's like, it's the golfing hour. Maybe it's been years since you've picked up a golf club, but now's the chance to go back out and in this 3-hour, boot camp, and I'd be like, oh, I said I would do what you wanted, but do I really have to do a golf boat? That would be a really good way to trick me. And I would absolutely have believed it. I mean, if you see it on the stationery, it doesn't even occur to you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And it's just the kind of thing that could happen.
It is. No, I mean, I think they got the language really correct. And I think that's part of it is you really have to have it right on that line.
Yes.
Where it's totally believable.
That is hysterical.
I thought it was great, and I tucked it away in my mind. I was like, if I ever had the opportunity, I would love to come up with something like this. I don't know that I would have the gumption to ask the hotel to do it. I just think I would feel, I don't know. I admire that she just even asked, because I would have been so confident that they would say no, or that I don't know why. I would just feel
we're such rule followers.
Yes.
That to do anything to cross that sort of boundary,
right, exactly.
to us would feel very.
We're asking them to break a rule,
inappropriate.
right? And
Yes.
our Midwesterner, we wouldn't want to
Yes.
make you feel like you had to tell us no and feel uncomfortable.
That is
So I said to
amazing.
her, I love this. Do I have your permission to talk about it? And she said yes. So I do have her permission to talk about her prank.
All right. That is a good one, Sarah. Love it. Okay, Gretch, finally, what is our quotation this week?
I have recently discovered an author, Dorothy Whipple, and I am so excited. I am reading her novels, and this is her novel, Somewhat at a Distance. Life is like the sea. Sometimes you are in the trough of the wave, sometimes on the crest. When you are in the trough, you wait for the crest, and always, trough or crest, a mysterious tide bears you forward to an unseen but certain shore.
Nice.
So, Elizabeth, are you feeling happier?
Yes, I am feeling happier. Thank you to Chuck. Bye, Gretch.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project, or Move 26, is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, Elizabeth, when Daisy and Nacho have these lights on them, did you just see the lights sort of like bobbing up in the darkness? Does it look sort of like these disembodied lights? Or does it light up the dogs so you see their little faces?
No, it more is the disembodied light. Yeah, bobbing around.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
Do they like it?
They love it.
Oh, yeah.
They love it.
Right. Because they can see. So I'm sure they like that. Yeah.